Justin, where is December's upload? We've already missed November.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I got really caught up with, Christmas.
Christmas? Humbug!
Humbug? You say humbug?
I don't know, it's just something I always say.
You've never said humbug.
But come up with something easy to shoot and produce. Like a film review or something.
I mean, a film review would be nice, yeah, but I kind of think it's different from all the other content that we have right now. Our audience might not like it. We might lose subscribers.
Lose subscribers. If they're gonna unsubscribe, then do it. And decrease the surplus population.
Okay, you sound like a Scrooge.
What is that?
A Scrooge?
Who's Scrooge?
He's from A Christmas Carol?
Never heard of it.
It's like the book about the old miser that becomes a good person by learning what the true meaning of Christmas is.
Christmas. If it was up to me, every fool who went around with Merry Christmas on his lips would be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Okay, you've definitely seen A Christmas Carol.
I'm telling you, I haven't. And you better come up with a video for Christmas, or you'll be spending it on the unemployment line!
I was someone with Christmas Carol that guy. Huh.
You ready?
Christmas. What a stupid, silly fool.
Hey, Kyle.
Ah! I can't believe my eyes. My former business partner, Jacob Marley.
You had a former business partner named Jacob Marley?
I don't believe it. It can't be.
Yeah, I won't lie. I didn't think I did well with this costume. I was a bit worried you might find out.
Jacob's been dead for so many years. I can't believe my senses. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheats. You might be an undigested bit of beef. A blot of mustard. A crumb of cheese. A fragment of an underdone potato. There's more gravy than grave about you. Whatever you are.
Okay, you have seen A Christmas Carol.
Why do you torment me so, Spirit?
To see the error of your ways, me and you, we're gonna watch 1951 Scrooge, and then afterwards, 3 other spirits are gonna visit you, and we're gonna watch other different Christmas Carol movies. It's like a fun little framing device. I thought it was kind of cute.
Can't I watch them all at once and get it over with? Where am I?
Oh, good! You're finally awake. Alright, let's talk about Scrooge, 1951.
What?
There's a lot of stories that have been told. You know, a lot of stories that have been written. But for
At least over 10.
over 10. For my money, A Christmas Carol is the definitive greatest story ever told by man.
The simplicity of it, of just bad guy, real covetous old sinner. Then the past to humanize him, the present to show him the folly of his ways, and the future to prevent him from relapsing.
I think it hits at an emotion that we all kind of feel, you know, that we're all kind of able to be a good person.
And it's never too late. I think that's why it's important that he's an old guy.
Old motherfucker.
Yeah, like even in the twilight of his years, he decides to be a better person. And not only that, he becomes like the one of the nicest men you'd ever meet, or what? I forget. No finer man, no minor master.
And you haven't read the book.
I've actually never heard of A Christmas Carol.
You're just kind of going off the fucking dome with that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've never heard of A Christmas Carol, actually.
Don't believe it. Don't believe it.
Oh, I thought you were saying A Christmas Gerald.
Old Marley was as dead as a doornail.
I adored this movie.
Yeah, it kind of ruled.
1951 Scrooge is really, really good. Alistair Sim, oh my god, he might be one of my new favorites as far as like Scrooge performances. Understated was what I think I wrote in my notes. Understated, realistic, not as cartoony as other versions.
No.
The whole opening segment, he's like delivering all those lines really well, but he's delivering them very realistically. He hits the surplus population thing like it's just something he said. Like he does, other versions go like, and decrease the surplus population.
If they'd rather die, then they'd better do it and decrease the surplus population.
But in this one, he just was like, he was in the middle of writing, and he was just like,
If they would rather die, they'd better do it and decrease the surplus population.
It's almost less of Scrooge being this, like, horrible monster and very much just, like, a piece of shit. And not, like, outward...
The world's kind of worn him down, and he's kind of just this hateful asshole.
As opposed to how Scrooge is portrayed sometimes, where the world is very whimsical and very pure.
Scrooge definitely is too scared of the world. Like, there's definitely a lot of good in the world, but he only sees the bad.
Seems odd to think of the place without him, sir. Why should it be any more odd than it was with him? We've all got to die, Cratchit.
I don't know. I like what this film does. These small little moments that we get, like a couple of the additional scenes.
They really expanded the Ghost of Christmas Past segment.
Oh, yeah.
They basically go through his entire life.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
Bad childhood, growing up in the boarding school.
The Fezziwig
we get
party.
Fezziwig, we get the Lost Love. We always get those. But they really went in. They showed him meeting Jacob.
They show him fucking over Fezziwig.
By the way, how did old Fezziwig take it when you said you were leaving him?
You wish me luck, sir.
No hard feelings, eh? Starting with a clean slate. Good.
And they show him making active decisions to be bad.
Yes.
Even though he feels bad, he doesn't do better.
It's weird how a film from the 50s, and maybe this shows my ignorance of being a more, modern day film viewer, but it's kind of weird that they would make those types of changes, where I was like, oh, this is, pretty, fundamental to a lot of the story that's going on. It's really interesting.
I liked the scene they added with him and Marley being, already pieces of shit, screwing over this company, taking advantage of a situation to get, more richer. And them just sitting there very calmly.
Well, that also shows Marley being a piece of shit, right?
Which we don't see most of the time. We just hear about it.
Well, even crazier, we see Marley on his deathbed.
We're What?
At the beginning, during the Marley segment, this version adds Marley saying,
"You have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate, a chance and hope of my procuring Ebenezer."
What is it implying about Marley? Did he have a similar experience, but it was too late for him?
It's a very I, us, you. The haunt is more personal this time because of that language. And with the changes that they made, like how we're talking about, everything that involves the past, it really works.
It's all humbug, I tell you!
I think it's probably the best version of the Lost Love storyline. I feel like most versions of A Christmas Carol have trouble.
Yeah.
With the Lost Love scene. I think it's just due to time and how unimportant. It's important to Scrooge as a character, so they always want to hit it. It's not, really important in the grand scheme of things. So, I feel like a lot of adaptations really just neglect it.
What's going to connect to a human the most? It's
a lost love.
It's a lost love.
Yeah.
We can talk about how much of a shrewd businessman he is all day.
Yeah.
That can only connect us so much. You talk about how he was a horrible person to his partner. Ooh! That's going to hit.
Scrooge isn't, abusive or even mean to his partner. It's the fact that he's just that she's like, I just can't abide how awful you treat everyone but me.
But how have I changed towards you?
By changing towards the world.
They show Scrooge trying to rationalize his horrible behavior consistently. And he really does it in the scene that they've put in where I release you, and she gives him the ring.
If you were free today, would you choose a darless girl with neither wealth nor social standing? You who now weigh everything by gain, bring you nothing but repentance and regret. That is why I released you.
I like that his initial reaction in this was anger.
Yeah.
Like that he's just like, what are you talking about? Not even listening to her.
It's awesome.
Proving her point.
Show me no more.
But I told you, these were but shadows of the things that have been. That they are what they are, do not blame me.
Take me away.
The Ghost of Christmas Present is always a favorite of mine.
Come in, and no better man.
It's always the ghost that Scrooge vibes with the most.
I think it's important for an adaptation for that. Because, I mean, I think in the past he is reluctant, but he is very nostalgic. So, like, he is willing to kind of, like, see all this stuff and willing to listen to a degree. And he has a very comforting presence in the Ghost of Christmas Present. And he, like, gently, he's able to kind of guide him through why the way he's acting is bad.
Yeah.
Without actually even saying anything.
Yes.
Come, touch my robe.
And then the future is pretty much just like, in most adaptations, Scrooge has already changed. The future is pretty much saying, and don't change back.
Will Tiny Tim live? If he'd be like to die, he'd better do it and decrease the surplus population.
One funny thing about this version of the Cratchit family, Tiny Tim ain't tiny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's like a full-grown boy.
When I watched it on my own, I didn't notice the first time, but then the second I watched it, I started watching it with you. I was like, God, he's huge.
He's massive.
He's like 5'6". He's like as tall as his mom.
Yeah. Seeing Cratchit like carry him
they're like tiny. He would carry Tiny Tim on his shoulder. I'm like, bro, he's like almost tiny. Tiny Tim's almost his size.
Like, I don't know. Did he just have like a fracture in his leg and like a bad cough?
I'm like,
There's no way he was like dying and sickly.
Which I think that's kind of a problem they have with a lot of film versions is I don't think they ever really make Tim look sickly enough.
Oh, dude. Could you imagine if they made him look like absolutely wretched and disgusting, though?
Yeah, like they don't really ever really commit on that. He's always like a sweet little boy that's like, hello, I'm a little tyke. Except in this version where he's like, hey, I'm trying out for the basketball team. Yeah, no, one of the best parts about this, I think, is how in the past segment they kind of set up that Scrooge's mother died in childbirth, which has always been there. That's always a thing.
Yeah.
And then also, Fan, Scrooge's sister, dies in childbirth, giving birth to Fred.
Fan!
They, like, connect those two plot elements very, like, in your face. Like, very much, like, intentionally. Scrooge loved Fan so much, and he, like his father, blames the child.
She died, giving him life.
As your mother died, giving you life, for which your father never forgave you, as if you were to blame.
But the present, that's almost one of the best parts of the film, I would say, where we go to the party that Fred is having. I think I said this when we were watching the film together. I've always found that scene weird.
Of him like talking shit on Scrooge.
Not that Scrooge doesn't deserve it. He definitely does. But it's like Fred doesn't seem like the type of person
he's always a little defensive. Yeah. He always defends Scrooge a bit. In this version, he fully's just like, oh no, I feel sorry for him.
Here it is, nevertheless. Uncle Scrooge. No! I couldn't feel angry with him if I tried. Who suffers worst from his humors? Himself, always.
He just decided he doesn't want to be associate with us or be family with us. He's like, and it's his loss.
Yes.
And it's like, I genuinely feel bad for him. He has no one. He just
and that feels more to the spirit of not just the character of what he's supposed to be, but to the whole story itself. You know, that like his family, his only family, still feels that there could be a redemption for Scrooge.
Where are you taking me now? My time with you, Ebenezer, is almost done.
Of course, I have to mention it because it doesn't happen in any other adaptation we watched today.
Oh my god, yeah.
This version adapts Ignorance and Want from the original book of God, it's so funny because we noticed it. So there's this shot of the Ghost of Christmas Present, and he's just talking to Scrooge, and then it just fades into the shot of them outside, and his robe is like, so it looks like he gained 50 pounds.
He's got this big belly.
Yeah, this huge thing, and you see Russell.
He got pregnant,
and with 2 children. It's rustling, like you can see the kids, and then he just like lifts up the robe, and he was like, are they yours, Spirit? They are man's.
They cling to me for protection from their fetters. This boy is ignorance, this girl is want.
It feels like if this is truly a dream Scrooge is having, this is like the weird bit that doesn't really fit in with the rest of your dream. Like it's a little too metaphorical. He's just like, look at these children. This is ignorance, and they are man's.
They definitely didn't have to have the wide shot, have the kids underneath him. That's my big thing. They did not have to have that wide shot.
I'm glad they did, though. It was very funny.
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
But I always find it weird when the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come comes out and there's like a chase scene.
I always think it's better, because I think by the end of the present, Scrooge should pretty much be... He's pretty much changed. Like I said, I think future is always just kind of scaring him out of relapsing into his old behavior. So I don't think it really makes sense in an adaptation for him to like not accept Yet to Come. So like him like turning around and like in this version what does he do in this version? Oh no yeah.
There's
no,
the sick shot.
No, it's the shot of just his hand. You don't see him at all. He's way more intimidating in that moment by not showing him. Continuing to point
he's
it
like
in.
almost out of focus and shit, and then like, when Scrooge comes in, the camera
turns to reveal the ghost.
Dude, like what the fuck? What was not cool was the next scene. You see the motherfucker's face in the cloak.
And then, of course, we see the future. We see Tiny Tim Crutch at the fireplace scene.
Cratchit's actor, who the name is escaping me, he does an especially amazing job in that sequence.
He comes in and he's just like, oh, but I felt Tim hold my hand. He's telling me we need to just move on and be happy.
Got this this fake smile. You know?
And then he just breaks down crying.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh, Tim. My tiny Tim.
Oh, Robert, my boy. Oh, Robert.
But my favorite in every future segment, Old Joe. I love the Old Joe segment.
Yeah. 8 shillings this lot, and I wouldn't give you another 6pence. Not if I was boiled for life for not doing it.
I fucking love it.
It's such a weird little...
I got his bed curtains.
I don't hate the Old Joe segment. I do kind of feel like the movie kind of stops for a second.
I love the Old Joe segment.
You do?
I always love it when Old Joe shows up.
He frightened everybody away from him when he was alive, and now he benefits us when he's dead.
And then we get to the grave sequence.
The money shot. This is where the actors who play Scrooge get their moment, right?
Pretty much the scene. To separate a good from a great adaptation, you need to get the grave pointing scene. The actor who plays Scrooge needs to fucking give a great performance, like a man redeemed.
There's always a pleading in the Scrooge's tone.
Yeah.
Which is necessary, but there's also that understated performance that truly carries the film.
Mm-hmm.
He just rips it. and it's so good.
I'm not the man I was. Believe me, I'm not the man I was. Why show me all this if I'm beyond all hope?
I really liked, because how understated his whole performance is throughout the film, and how good of an actor he is at portraying, like, the sadness and the grief that he feels.
Yeah.
When we get to the redemption in the morning, and he starts acting like a fucking maniac,
yeah,
it's awesome.
Spirits must have done everything in one night. Of course, they can do anything, can't they? Of course they can.
And he's literally scaring his housekeeper.
Yeah.
Like she's like fucking screaming, like she's screaming like old movie screaming, like
it's awesome.
A Merry Christmas, Ebenezer. You old humbug. And a Happy New Year, as if you deserved it.
I like in this version that all he does on Christmas Day is buy the turkey, send it to Cratchit, and then go to his family.
Yes.
Thing.
Yeah.
I get it. I get the desire of a filmmaker to go like really want to pack in like this big climax, right?
Yeah.
I like it better that he's just like, I'm going to do a nice thing for Cratchit on Christmas, and then I'm going to make good with him tomorrow.
What make Mr. Scrooge take such leave of his senses suddenly?
Christmas?
But with everything that happened, like that's added in the film, him going to the party
and finally like making up with Fred and his wife.
Oh my God, that scene is so beautiful too.
Yeah, and then
it's like, could you ever forgive me?
A pig-headed old fool.
It's too late to accept your invitation to dinner.
Too late? I'm delighted. Delighted. My dear, look who it is.
Can you forgive a pig-headed old fool for having no eyes to see with, no ears to hear with, all these years?
I always like having him like send Cratchit the turkey, do that. I like that better than a big old blowout. Because that Scrooge, the day after Christmas, December 26th, is still being good.
Yes.
He's still good.
He's still giddy like a madman.
Yeah, like I feel like if we end it on Christmas Day, this big thing, it's like, sure, we know because the story's over that he's not going to change back. But it's like, I feel like it's good to show Scrooge post December 25th, on December 26th, being nice to Bob.
From now on, I want to try to help you to raise that family of yours. If you'll let me.
Bob doesn't say a fucking word the entire scene.
No.
Being nice and like actually doing all this for people is genuinely giving him fulfillment. Him starting to like give his money away and like help people, it really like, it makes him giddy. Like he's so happy because he's like, I'm helping people. I'm making a difference in people's life. And it makes him so happy that he starts giggling like a fool.
I don't deserve to be so happy. I just can't help it.
I don't want to say anything crazy, but I think this is one of the best versions of A Christmas Carol.
I think it's definitely one of the best.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
You want like a classic Christmas Carol, no gimmicks. It's the best version to watch.
No gimmicks. We're just talking.
Yeah,
straight.
you want a character study on Ebenezer Scrooge. Here it is.
All right, Kyle. Well, that was fun.
I'm not sure if I'm ready for you to leave me just yet, Jacob. I have to do this 3 more times? With 3 more spirits? I'm not ready, Jacob. I'm not sure I can do it. Speak comfort to me, Jacob, please.
Okay, come on. Up you go. You're gonna be fine. The first spirit will appear when the clock strikes 1.
Once.
And I believe that happens at 1 o'clock.
I mean, yes.
Have fun.
It would. But Jacob, it's 8 p.m. now.
bored.
Speak comfort to me, Peter. Speak comfort to me, Peter.
Hey, so sorry I am late. Alrighty. Okay, let's get started.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
Yeah, I am the ghost of Christmas past.
The far past?
No, 1970.
Oh.
So in 1970, Scrooge came out. It was based off of the Broadway musical, I believe. That's why it is. It is a musical. This is the first musical one, I believe, that they made.
Yeah.
It's got Albert Finney. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
You just look good, man.
Thank you. I don't know if you could notice, I really tried with this one.
Aren't you supposed to be like the ghost of Christmas? What?
I am. Okay, don't worry. I got a whole flame thing going on.
Yeah. Yeah, like a candle.
Yeah, like a candle.
Kind of like the Jim Carrey version.
Nah, that was too creepy. Too creepy. Touch it.
Merry Christmas! Get away from me, you scavengers!
This film, when I first watched it, full transparency, this is my partner's favorite Christmas Carol movie. This is the one that she grew up watching all the time. And when Christmas time came around, when we first started dating, we were like, oh, we'll show each other our favorite Christmas Carol movies. And I was hyped because, like, I showed her Muppets, you know. She showed me this one, and I was just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on?
I cannot fathom some of the choices they've made in this
film.
Strange choices.
Albert Finney plays...
What do you say, he's like 30?
Yeah, he's like 30. Yeah. He don't got wrinkles. They got him suited up in a bald cap, and he's hunched
It's
over.
real fake looking. I didn't know. I thought he was an old man. I did like look at his bald cap. It's like, because it's so big.
Yeah, it's huge.
Like, it's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Another word from you, Cratchit, and you will celebrate Christmas by losing your position.
It's funny because when you see him in the past segments
Yeah.
where he's playing
A younger Scrooge, yeah.
he's actually kind of hot.
Yeah, sure.
Kind of like broad, you know. I'm
Sure,
like,
if that's your thing.
Yeah. If young Scrooge is your thing.
Yeah, if that's your thing.
He's doing this thing where he's like, I'm an old man, so I gotta sound like an old man.
I couldn't understand what he was saying most of the time because it sounded like he had marbles in his mouth.
I would dare say distracting.
Yeah.
Get off me ledger, you'll ruin my binding.
Oh, I don't want to be mean, but it's almost like a high schooler or like a middle schooler playing Scrooge.
When I was in elementary school, we had an elementary school production of A Christmas Carol.
Yeah, this was very reminiscent.
Yeah.
Of that.
Yes.
I let you go away.
I won't lie.
Start praising it.
Or
else you're in the doghouse.
No, that's the issue here. I'm in the doghouse, like already starting off making fun of the man's performance. I do think when we get some of the more toned down parts of when he's playing Scrooge, him as a actor really shines through.
Sure.
I really dug that. Like, Example.
Yeah.
The past sequences when he is longing for his lost love. You know, the song that he sings out there.
Yeah, that one's all right.
Hell of a job.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, hell of a job. The ending sequence when he's all merry and he's all happy. Yeah. I think in the sense that this is a musical and it's big and it's silly. The film is outwardly silly, you know?
Understated. This one is not.
No, it's the exact opposite. Of
the I said it almost feels like a parody because this one's Scrooge 1970. I was like, and the other was Scrooge 1951. I said it almost feels like And maybe it was, honestly. It might have been that the Broadway musical that you said it was based off of the screenplay of that movie. Because there's like a lot of scenes that happen in both, and it's kind of like Telephone.
How lonely and deserted it looks.
Not quite deserted.
A solitary boy, neglected by his family, is left there still.
One of the sequences that I really enjoyed in this one more than the 1950 version is with Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim and his kids, like walking around outside.
Yeah.
I think that opening number, while the song is fucking ridiculous, that I hate people.
I hate people.
I hate people. And I don't care if they hate me.
I did not like most of the songs.
That's fair.
I'm actually kind of hard-pressed to think of
one that you
I
liked.
did.
I like the song that he sings about the lost love, though, at the window. I really like that song.
Yeah.
That song's really good.
Yeah, it was all right.
I also like Thank You Very Much. I like how the first version of it.
We'll get there, but I'm conflicted. Yeah, the song itself.
I like it being reprised at the very end. I love that. I was
Yeah.
like, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, especially like the symbolism of like the first version of Thank You Very Much being like, oh, thank God he's fucking dead. Then the ending is like, oh, thank you for being like a good person now.
Yeah.
I think something that the film did really well in the opening sequence, just like right away, is showing the parallels and like the miserness of Scrooge, you know, where Cratchit and his family are going to these expensive looking places, and we're seeing a good comparison between how the more well-off people in the city live and how people like Bob Cratchit live, you know, seeing the big goose, the kids are looking at it. Bob walks out with a smaller goose. And then you have Scrooge's number where he's going into these same stores that Cratchit was looking at and being like, this is like we can't touch these places. Scrooge is going right in there and asking for money, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
I did like seeing Scrooge actually be a moneylender.
Yes.
I liked him going around and collecting money and seeing how much he hated it. Like obviously it's very cheesy because like everyone's like, oh, but my mom's dying, and he's just like, I don't care.
I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit. like it's very cartoonish.
Yeah.
Seeing him mistreat more people than just Cratchit, I guess, because normally we just kind of see Cratchit, the charity guys, and didn't the charity guys in this version, weren't they just like on the street? No, wait, I think I wrote in my notes, I was like, the charity guys in this one are kind of in the fucking wrong.
Yeah, no, they are.
Yeah, the charity guys in this one are in the wrong. Like, he's closing. He's walking out, the door's closed, and he's closing, and they're like, are we addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley? And it's like, bro, he's leaving.
And he's like, bro, Marley's been dead for years. I'm like, at that moment, I'm kind of with Scrooge. Like, I've worked retail before and, like, closed up shop, and people have been wanting to, like, look, you could have come, like, even 30 minutes before I close shit down.
Yeah, they're like, they show up, like, as he's closing, and then they just start following him.
Yeah, you want me? Like, I'm the bad
streets?
guy? Dude, imagine closing up shop and then someone following you to your car.
He said, when they're just like, you were misdemeaned and honestly, like, I wish to be left alone. I'm like, I feel you, man.
Yeah, I get it.
No, he was justified in that one. I was like, these charity guys are assholes in this one.
What may we put you down for, sir?
Nothing, sir.
Ah, you wish to be anonymous.
I wish to be left alone.
Yeah, the whole Fred sequence kind of plays out similar to, like, the rest of them.
Nothing substantial.
The only true distinguishing factor is just Albert Finney fucking hamming it up. It's so weird.
Bear will take of holly through their hearts.
And he's counting his little...
Counting my little money.
He's, like, going to the safe.
Yeah.
And picking out even more little things.
Oh, yeah. When Cratchit says, like, Cratchit's like, can I get paid? And he's just like... He looks at him like he's the biggest asshole alive.
He looks at him like he just spit on his mother's grave.
Yeah, and
But be here the earlier the next morning.
Yes, sir, I will, sir. Thank you very much.
Marley.
It's humbug, I tell you. It's a lot of...
Makes me laugh every single time I see this fucking movie. I love it so much.
Alec Guinness, he's giving...
He is giving. He's
giving something.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what direction he was given, but he's doing something.
He's not acting like Obi-Wan.
Link by link, and yard by yard.
Marley is the introduction, the setup,
Yeah.
It's like right away, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Weird decision right off the bat.
Of course I can sit down.
Do so, then.
I liked the Ghost of Christmas Past introduction a lot. Like,
Nana?
Yeah. Old lady?
Yeah, I think in my notes I just wrote, probably one of the worst Ghost of Christmas.
Damn!
I was like, just some fucking old lady.
Just some broad.
Just some broad. Like, we didn't talk about the appearance of the ghost in the other one. But I mean, I'll get 1951. He was unique looking, but that was Pup.
Yeah,
like that was he was just some old guy.
But this is Nana.
Where are we going?
We are going to look at your childhood.
I think that the past is done really well.
In this film?
Yeah, in comparison to other adaptations, I think there is more of a focus on the love, like, of his life.
Yes.
And the song that I talked about before. I think the song is done really well.
The past didn't really stand out to me too much.
Well, I think a big issue that I personally have at times is the music is very wordy. I guess
yeah, it's very literal.
Yes,
very literal. I guess
that's a better word.
The way it is. Instead of waxing poetic, Scrooge just goes, "I hate people."
It's like
I hate people.
There's a charm to that I find endearing.
Yeah,
but also when I watch a musical, I don't know, maybe it's modern day talking. I want some bops. I want some bangers.
Yeah.
I want a chorus. I want some structure. These musical numbers don't really have that, except for the one from the ending. I would think, like, "Thank You Very Much" is probably like the closest one to like an actual structured song.
The more we talk about it, the more I'm like, oh wow, maybe I didn't like this movie. Like, actually didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm just like, wow, I'm really having trouble finding something nice to say about
Well,
this.
what did you like about the present?
I liked and disliked.
Christine's watching. She's gonna be very upset.
I am sorry. I don't like this movie.
Oh my god,
very much.
As we're recording, he's
I just kind of I was like, the more I talk about it, the more I'm realizing I don't really have anything nice to say.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
I like what the actor's doing for the Ghost of Christmas Present.
Yeah,
I like his kind of detached, like, Scrooge, you son of a bitch, like kind of the way he delivers things. It's really funny. I think the problem is, though, Scrooge and him don't really mesh because of that.
No.
Scrooge doesn't really... They do this bit where, like, he gives him the milk of human kindness, and then Scrooge gets all drunk. And then he's like, ooh,
brother gets sloshed.
Yeah, and then, he goes to Fred's party, and he's, like, mad because Fred and them are, like, talking shit on him. And he's, like, mad. And he's, like, actually, like, not self-reflecting at all. And then they give him milk to human kindness. And then he's just sloshed. And it's like, you're kind of taking away Scrooge's agency by just making him drunkenly be nice to everybody.
I agree.
It's really weird. It's a weird decision, which is kind of the theme of this film, I think. A lot of weird decisions.
Scrooge, time is short. And suddenly, you're not there anymore.
No, wait! Don't go! Don't leave me!
I like the performance, but I don't know if it's right.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. I think he's doing a funny performance.
Yeah.
There's no warmness
No.
to him.
No, I don't think so.
He's very detached from Scrooge.
Well, I think that's the issue, right? Is like you want the Ghost of Christmas Present to be a very kind and caring individual, and he kind of just doesn't feel that way.
No.
Especially when he just keeps giving fucking Scrooge alcohol.
Yeah, get sloshed. I'm tired of dealing with you.
It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a bug right there. You murdered that little guy.
He might live.
No, you flushed him down a toilet. Like you could have taken him outside.
I could have.
But you're a heartless bastard. You're gonna get bug caroled.
I'm gonna get bug caroled.
This is gonna be my meanest.
Is it?
Dude, I hate this. I hate the future segment.
Okay, well, I want to say the things that I liked about the future segment.
Okay, go.
Because it's everything before the grave point, you know?
But that's another problem. There isn't much. So basically, the future segment is just the...
Thank you very much.
Is just thank you very much.
And I like that song a lot. And I kind of...
I think
it's one of those things where the film makes a weird decision of Scrooge being totally blind.
I think the weirder decision is to show us Scrooge dead. The thing is, it's like, yeah, we know that the dead guy they're talking about is Scrooge, but the grave reveal.
That's
the money. Part of the story.
You're not wrong.
Like I feel like we should know that the dead man is Scrooge for sure at the same time Scrooge knows. That grave point, I think, like...
That's the money.
That should be what you're working towards.
Yeah.
That's the money shot. Just the grave point, the Scrooge breakdown at the grave. That is what you're working towards in these adaptations.
What is to become of me?
They merged the Tiny Tim and the grave pointing scene into one segment. Like, they just had, instead of the crutch by the fireplace, they don't show how the family's grieving. They just kind of show Cratchit at the grave going, damn, miss you, bud.
Shit's whack.
Shit's whack without you. Love you, bud. I mean, and it's like, sure, like, he does a pretty good job of sounding like a grieving father. But, like, I don't know. I prefer the segment of just showing the family, like, having to deal with him still being dead.
Yeah.
Not instead of just going to visiting his grave. And then he just goes into show me something, and then like he points, no build up. Scrooge just immediately looks and goes, "No." And then he turns around, skeleton. Completely original. Fan fiction. Complete fanfic. Deeply hate it.
Not a fan.
Deeply hate it.
It's weird.
Everything else, maybe I'm playing it up a little bit for the camera, how much I did. Because overall, I think it wasn't that bad of a movie. I actually hate the hell segment.
I should have thought it was obvious.
I think the fact that, like, they avoid mention of an afterlife, and, like, really, and, like, build their own version of an afterlife in the story of, if you are a bad person, your spirit is forced to wander amongst his fellow man, never to be able to help them and bear the chain that you've forged in life. That is your punishment for being a bad person in the Christmas Carol universe. We don't need hell.
No.
Hell doesn't need to exist. And also, I think it's weird because it kind of it's a religious story. It's about Christmas. And also, like, Tiny Tim and Cratchit go to church. He's like, he's a good little boy in church today. Like, they always have that. But it's like, I think a big timeless part of it is that it has, like, its own version. Like, the ghosts are, like it's its own idea, you know? Like, the ghosts are... The afterlife is this thing. And also, it's also not. Like, it's also, like, ghosts can be things of concepts. And ghosts can be, like, like the concept of a present of just a ghost that represents this Christmas. Like, that's interesting. Like, the way, the mythos, kind of, that's, like, going on in the background is very interesting.
But just saying,
just going,
there's hell.
Look, he's in hell, and Marley's there. Well, that's another thing, because it's like Marley literally says the line verbatim in his thing, like, I wear this chain, I'm forced to wander amongst my fellow man.
But he's in hell.
But he's in hell!
What is he doing in hell, then?
What are you doing down here? Go amongst your fellow man.
Your office.
It also is off-putting looking, like visually.
Yeah, it's real cheap
like
looking.
shit.
It's like the worst looking part
Which
of the
is
movie.
crazy because I don't think this film looks
No,
bad
it looks
at all.
it looks very good. That is one thing I'll definitely say.
The set pieces,
the sets were very good. It looks very good.
Oh my god.
The worst looking thing is the bald cap on.
It's this weird fucking thing. It feels like a studio.
It does. It's like this plaster red cave set, and it's just like, and like they don't even make it look hot per se.
No.
They just have Scrooge touch like this plaster wall, and he's like, ow. Him going like, you're forced to be the devil's bookkeeper, and you're Bob Cratchit to the devil. And here's your chain. It's so big you can't even sit up.
This is
It's so in
on
your
the nose,
the nose, silly, too like it's almost like it literally just feels like, why would anyone change just seeing their own mortality? We gotta show him getting punished.
Yeah, it's just it just feels not like A Christmas Carol.
Very weird decision to decide you have a better climax to the film.
Which is hell.
I just don't get how you could take one of like the most adapted, most beloved stories of all time and go, I don't like the ending. I don't like the climax. Let's change that.
Especially the easiest climax ever.
You need a graveyard and two actors. Boom. Ebenezer Scrooge.
That's it.
Start freaking out.
You'd think it'd be the biggest
slam
dunk
instead
ever.
They wasted like fucking an insane amount of money building the shittiest hell set I've ever seen. On 3 oily dudes.
Yeah.
3 oily dudes.
You know, I bet Alec.
Alec said, let's get some.
I
want to see some oiled up men.
I was saying that he's like, let me be in the film again. Let me extend my scene.
I thought you were getting that he wanted that it was his decision
to
get the oily men.
Maybe. I mean, shoot.
A purely creative decision.
Speak of this film no longer, spirit. Be gone with you.
Okay, damn. I didn't think it was that bad. Jesus Christ. Know me better, man. Know me better, man.
Are you the second spirit that was foretold to me?
Why, yes. I'm the ghost of Christmas present. Why are you so upset?
I've just never seen A Christmas Carol before today, and I guess I don't really get what it's about.
Well, typically at this point in the story, I'd show you a sickly kid, but since none of your co-workers have a dying child,
not really,
I'm just gonna show you a Muppet's Christmas Carol.
It's all funny. Very fun.
Well, we've been alluding to it this whole entire program, but our favorite Christmas Carol is A Muppet's Christmas Carol. You know, I did a thought when I watched it again.
You did a thought?
I did a thought, if you could believe it.
A deep one.
A deep one, perhaps. I was like,
scraping it up.
If if I have removed my attachment from the Muppets, is this still a good film?
Yeah, yeah,
because it's Christmas Carol.
Yeah, no, it is.
But like, I think there's something to say that there's Muppets in it. It makes it even better. I don't give a shit. I like that we got Charles Dickens running around Gonzo and fucking Rizzo. I like that the opening I like that the opening credits say Kermit Frog as Bob Cratchit. That's cool. That's awesome to me. He gets top billing and he's a Muppet. That's not like, I don't know. I'm a simple man. You put Muppets on my screen, I'm gonna be happy.
I mean, I just think it's a really good adaptation in its own right.
Yes.
It's surprisingly accurate, despite like them taking breaks to do little Muppet bits.
Boy, this really is a dirty city.
You telling me? Thank you for making me a part of this.
Like, it's actually like follows the story like very. I kind of wish, because I think they also did Treasure Island.
They did.
I wish they did. I kind of wish that the Muppets. It feels like it was just a good formula for them to do for a bit. Was just classic book, but we throw Muppets in it.
I mean, I think you could do that with almost any property. Classic piece of media, put Muppets in it, you know?
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 as long, like, but the thing that makes this work so well
is Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Michael Caine plays it as seriously as you fucking could. He plays it one of the most serious Scrooge performances we've seen, and it's in the Muppets version.
It's everything. It's so good. I read an interview from Michael Caine where he was like, because they were going to get a couple of different people to play Scrooge. Michael Caine was the biggest one. And Michael Caine really wanted to work with the Muppets, because he was asked to during the Muppet show and couldn't do it.
Mhm.
So when they told him this, he jumped at it, essentially.
Yeah.
And he told them, he was like, I want to play it as if I'm not surrounded by Muppets. I want to give a Shakespearean, performance. And he kills it. And it works. It really works.
Let us deal with the eviction notices for tomorrow, Mr. Cratchit.
Tomorrow's Christmas, sir.
Very well. You may gift wrap them.
And it's funny because you have the Muppet bits, you have Rizzo, and you have Gonzo, and it's some of the best Muppet material, period.
Come on, Rizzo, we'll follow him in. In a minute, I have a little bag of jelly beans over here. Will you just get over here? All right.
I think it's also really funny that, most of the Muppets who are playing characters also play it pretty straight.
Yeah.
Like Kermit doesn't really do many bits as
Miss
Bob
Piggy.
Cratchit. Miss Piggy does she doesn't really do that many bits. I think there's all I can think of is the bit of her eating when the girl and of eating when the girls walk up and then her getting their names wrong, going whatever.
the joke that happens in every single film ever, it feels.
Yeah.
And do not shout, Bettina. I'm Belinda. I'm Bettina. Of course you are, Bettina. Belinda. Whatever.
I let's just jump right into it. I find in review formats it's very difficult to when it's something like this to talk about something that we enjoyed.
Yeah.
So this would probably be the shortest one,
So we start out with Gonzo and Rizzo, which is the most unique part about this adaptation, is that we have a omniscient narrator present in the story. Gonzo, who is playing Charles Dickens, and Rizzo, who is Rizzo.
Who is Rizzo the Rat?
Hello! Welcome to the Muppet Christmas Carol. I am here to tell the story.
And I am here for the food.
My name is Charles Dickens.
And my name is Rizzo the Rat. Hey, wait a second. You're not Charles Dickens.
We go right into our first musical number.
We go right into our first musical number. which fucking slaps. Whereas the 1970 one, I don't listen to the music. Around Christmas time, I will listen to basically the entire soundtrack with very few skips. There's a few, and I guess I'll point them out when they happen, the ones I skip when I'm re-listening.
The one thing that I really enjoy about the opening, in comparison to other Christmas carols, is it is stated in the song that Scrooge is redeemable.
It's really all with no fear and no pride. Look close and there must be a sweet man inside.
But it's also like, this watch through, I was like, oh, they're setting it up, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I kind of like that a lot. It was really fun. And, I mean, Michael Caine, as we said, he's just absolutely
I mean, we don't even see his face, but he's got this intimidating presence the entire opening number, because they don't show his face until right at the end where he looks back and goes, humbug.
Yeah.
Does the thing. He says humbug.
Humbug.
He then goes into Scrooge and Marley. Kermit the Frog is playing Bob Cratchit. In this version, they have a bunch of little rat bookkeepers who are very funny. Basically, Kermit is also playing Bob Cratchit very straight in these scenes. The rats are the comedic relief, as well as Gonzo and Rizzo. But Kermit, they go through all the scenes. They got Beaker and Honeydew as the charity guys, and then another human actor, his nephew Fred.
Yes.
Comes in, does the whole, does all the
We're hitting the beats.
We're hitting all the beats. We're hitting all the beats.
We're hitting the beats, but there's Muppets. So we got little funny bits like the rats, getting hype.
Like when they ask for more cold, it's freezing.
It's gotten colder, and the bookkeeping staff would like to have an extra shovel full of coal for the fire.
We can't do the bookkeeping. Yeah, all of our pens have turned to inksicles. Yeah, our assets are frozen.
How would the bookkeepers like to be suddenly
As a kid, I watched that shit, and I was dying. Now, as an adult, I'm still dying. I'm still laughing at these fun little bits that happen throughout the entirety of the film.
Yeah. So then we end up leaving there. They do the whole I suppose you want the whole day off thing. They do all that. Kermit and the bookkeepers end up singing "One More Sleep Till Christmas."
Great song.
And it's
banger track.
Yeah.
Great shot of Kermit looking at the
with
stars.
Little legs. I like when the Muppets have legs. I like when the Muppets are standing.
After all, there's only one more sleep till Christmas Day.
But yeah, and then we get into so then that's all we see of Bob for a bit. Then we go back to Scrooge, going home, door knocker scene, going in.
Marley
and Marley. It is Staldor and Waldorf are the two old men.
You got to keep them together.
Yeah. The two old men from the balcony.
Oh, wait! There's Kojima. Look.
They have a banger song.
Yeah, Marley and Marley, probably my favorite track.
Really?
One of, yeah. I like that one a lot. That one gets stuck in my head a lot.
It's tough.
We're Marley and Marley. We're Marley and Marley.
Owning their little teddy bears.
It's really dark. That's the funniest part.
So fucked up. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's again,
and Scrooge is playing it completely straight. He's just like, please, friends.
He's looking horrified.
Please, friends, speak comfort to me.
It's so good. The Muppet designs of the ghost from the haunt.
Well, it was really interesting. The Ghost of Christmas Past was a puppet they submerged in water.
Yeah.
And it's got this ethereal kind of floating, you can if you know that's how they did it, you can see it clearly. The way it moves looks like it's in water. And it's just this little girl type spirit that like, which is very close to how they, in the book, I believe they describe it. It's pretty close to how the book describes it. They say it's kind of like this ethereal thing that like kind of is constantly shaping age, changing. Like it'll look like a child, then it'll look like an old woman, and like it just kind of like alternates age as just constantly, like it's almost pulsating age, which is like a really cool thing. But like pretty much no adaptation does that, because that's such an impossible thing.
Yeah, that's insane to do.
The Muppets gets the closest. They do end up landing just on like child, but like making it look so ethereal is very like surprisingly book accurate, more book accurate than most versions go, where they normally just pick Nana, Pop Up, or
a dead guy,
or just some guy
cloaked feller. There's like a pessimistic nature about the Ghost of Christmas Past that I like, where she's just continuing to remind Scrooge, like, I'm just showing you. Like, that's all I'm doing.
Do not blame me.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really interesting.
I told you, these were the shadows of the things that have been, that they are what they are. Do not blame me.
Well, they start with his school days, which there was a cut song there, which was a Sam the Eagle song, because he plays the professor. They cut the song there. Then we go to Fozzie
Gotta love Fozzie.
Amazing pun.
Yeah, great.
Amazing wordplay. I mean, it was right there. Fezziwig. I can't hear the word Fezziwig.
Well, yeah, I just
without thinking Fozziewig.
Earlier on, when we were talking about Fezziwig, I almost said Fozziewig.
Yeah.
I was very close to saying it like that.
Fozziewig's Rubber Chicken Factory.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Fozziewig isn't his wife, it's his mom.
To start the party. Way to go, Ma! Get it, boys!
The love interest, Scrooge's
pretty lackluster.
Yeah, Scrooge. It's.
They introduce her. She's not really a character. They immediately go into the song of them breaking up.
Yeah,
and you got to keep in mind, in the original theatrical cut, they cut the song, so it was basically just they got together. She goes, "I don't think you love me anymore." They do the whole bit, and then she just leaves.
I think the song does a lot to add to the sequence.
I will say it is the song I skip. I don't like listening to it. I think that's why they cut it. It's not it's not the best song.
No.
I think it's kind of, but it is necessary in two ways. One, it's the breakup scene. It's a very important part of his life. We need it. And when they cut it, it does kind of feel like it's missing. And then two, they reprise it at the end of the movie. So it was really weird. In the original theatrical cut,
they just kind of are just singing.
They're reprising a song that we never
doesn't
heard.
exist.
Yeah,
it's strange.
It's really weird because it's like when love is gone, and then at the end, it's the love we found.
Yeah.
But like they're reprising a song that doesn't exist in the theatrical cut. But like,
music is done, by the way, by Paul Williams. Absolute banger. Little Enos. We love Little Enos. He's also in a Dexter's Lab episode where he just plays Paul Williams. It's like a little guy. Love him so much. He did the music for the first Muppet movie.
God, in this one we're just doing a lot of trivia too.
I know, it's hard. This is hard one.
A lot of trivia. This was Brian Henson's first directing gig, and this was the first Muppet project after Jim died.
Yes. So this is important to get right.
Yeah.
And they did.
It's very good.
It
is a bit of a cult classic. I don't think it did super well when it came out.
No.
But it's definitely become a cult classic, and they say one of the better Muppet movies looking back.
It's gotta be. Well, I love the Ghost of Christmas Present so much.
Ho, 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 ho. Come in and know me better, man. Ho, 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 ho.
It's a big full-size Muppet.
Yeah. The song rips.
He's like very, very accurate. They basically went full accurate with him, where he's just like this big dude who's to come in and know me better, man.
Yeah.
I love.
I like when
that.
he turns real tiny and dances
With the
rats.
mouse. Yeah, with the cheeses. Cheeses for us, Mises. He gives cheeses to Mises.
He does.
It's all the ways that we show love that feel like Christmas.
It's such a... And when he dies, I feel for him.
Yeah,
when this one passes.
I feel bad. But where was ignorance and want?
That's a good question. It wasn't under his robe.
I didn't talk about that in 1970s. No ignorance and want.
No ignorance and want in either of these two films. None.
So yeah, Ghost of Christmas Present is introduced, and we get It Feels Like Christmas, which is along with Marley, and Marley is probably my favorite song in the thing. I think I listened to It Feels Like Christmas more because it kind of just pops into my head around Christmas time.
Yeah, dude, it's hard. That's a ditty right there. Yeah. That's
in the singing of a street corner choir.
It's
going home and getting warm by the fire.
Dude, and the little dance
and Scrooge does it too.
Scrooge just starts hitting that shit. Oh.
Yeah.
Getting sturdy with it.
It's true wherever you find love, it feels like Christmas.
They show him Tiny Tim. We go through all the beats, and then, yeah, like you said, Ghost of Christmas Present dies. Very sad.
Very sad.
And also they, like, visibly have the Muppet, like, aging.
Yeah.
Like, throughout the entire thing, which is really cool. Because that is, like, a thing that happens in the book, is that the Ghost of Christmas Present is aging throughout the entire course of the night. So you've got so you get like gray hairs start popping up, and then by the scene where he's dying, he's like completely gray and looks like real old, and it's really cool. But yeah, so he dies, very sad, and then we move on to
the part that Gonzo and Rizzo say.
They went, this is a little too much for us. We'll see in the finale, folks.
It's so fucking funny.
Oh, this is too scary. I don't think I want to see any more.
No, when you're right, you're right. You're on your own, folks. We'll meet you at the finale.
Yeah. Oh.
But kind of awesome in
and,
a way.
And it,
that like the narrators are just like I don't know, something about flat out.
It's kind of the opposite of the 1970s, where I feel like they really didn't respect the climax of the film.
In this one, they're
like, we don't need Gonzo and Rizzo doing bits during this.
Yeah,
let it speak for itself.
It kind of rules.
And like, there's like no comedy in the future bit, basically.
None?
Like not really. Like they have characters acting a little silly. Like
old
Joe makes an appearance.
Old Joe's back.
Old Joe's back. He's a spider because he kept saying, "Come into my parlor. Come into my parlor." So they made him a spider. But yeah, my favorite quote. I thought it was genuinely a quote in every version, but it's not. Just like when he grabs the legs and he goes, "They're still warm."
No, I've got his blankets.
Oh, his blankets. Why, Mrs. Dilber, they're still warm. I don't pay extra for the warmth, you know.
You should. It's the only warmth he ever had.
It's just stuck in my head.
I think.
But, they showed Scrooge getting grave robbed.
Yeah.
In a Muppets movie.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And, it's played very, scary. Like, Scrooge is sitting there and he's horrified, to hear all this.
This version of Scrooge, the way Michael Caine is playing it, it's like he's in denial. You know?
I think he knows that it's him, but, he's just I'm not, but
I think he's changed his tune way before that sequence. I think during
this one is definitely what I think is the correct. Well, not correct. Everyone.
This is how you would.
This is how I would do it. Where Scrooge is basically fully changed by present. Future is just scare him out of relapsing, basically, of going back to his old ways.
The very face on Michael Caine. He's just got such a.
Yeah.
He's like. This sounds very strange to say. He's like an old dog. In his expressions, when he's sad, it's just immediately empathetic.
Yeah,
when he's begging,
he hits it amazingly. the wipe away the snow from the grave, and the Ebenezer Scrooge, and like the way he starts crying. It's it's good.
Beautiful.
And then pulls the bed curtains, pulling on the spirit's cloak. Bed curtains, falls out of bed. Redemption. We're at the redemption scene. Done really, really good in here.
It's perfect.
It's
perfect.
He puts his head out the window.
It's almost the opposite of the 1950s version, right?
Yeah.
Where the 1950s version is more of a, it's that understatedness of that day. In the Muppets one, we're like, we got the big musical number. We got everybody fucking happy.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to the Cratchits. We're getting the cousin, you know.
Which, I was talking about how I like the 1950s version. Probably better in most adaptations, but yeah, like they go bombastic with it in the Muppets. And it's like, I understand for what this project is. Definitely, I think going bombastic was the better call.
Michael Caine starts singing?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
With a thankful heart.
Oh my
With
God.
a thankful heart and a boundless joy. Every girl and boy.
He's got this, like, the scene that always sticks with me is when he's sweet to the charity people.
And Beaker gives him the little scarf.
A gift? A gift for me? Thank you.
He's so touched. He's so touched.
And then
it's so
I like
beautiful.
that because he always has a scarf in the redemption. I like it being from the charity guy. That's a really good thing. I like that a lot. I forget if that's in the book.
I don't know, but like it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
But he
But it's I'm sorry, real quick. It's just funny to me always that when I like look outside of it that it's like, yeah, this beautiful scene. He's like given a gift from somebody, and he's so touched because he's never really been given a gift.
Beaker.
But it's Beaker. It's dude. Only in the Muppets would you be able to like get me to emotionally feel for something like that.
Yeah, but but yeah, like we got the segment's really good. Scrooge is going around. He's buying stuff. He's buying people presents. Big bombastic thing. We got the Thankful Heart is a bop. I love that song. It really, and Michael Caine just he's so like it truly feels like Scrooge was basically like kind of sleeping through his life, and he's awake.
Yeah.
Now
it's the most understated of the performances that we've seen so far.
Yeah, like everyone else plays like this. Like everyone else plays like this whimsical, like kind of like almost going crazy type thing, like losing their mind, like with like oh my god, I'm still alive, and like he has that initial excitement, but then when he puts his head out the window and does like the you boy, what day is it to bean the rabbit?
Why, it's Christmas Day.
It's like I don't know. It's like he's always kind of been like that. That's kind of how he plays it. It's like. This is Scrooge.
He plays it kind of like he is finally like being open to people again.
Yeah,
he's closed open the shell more so than he's a changed.
He's being kind of a goofball, kind of a silly little guy.
Also, I think it's really cool and interesting that Scrooge doesn't sing the entire time. Like it's not like he's not part of it until the end.
Yeah, that's
because it's almost like he's now part of the world. Like he's interacting with the world, and he's part of it now.
God, that's a beautiful point. That's a really good point.
Yeah,
I never even thought about it like that.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't the singing kind of just happens to him.
Yeah,
and then he ends up joining in at the end. Like he's in on the fun.
Yeah. Oh, what a film! What
a great film. We got
with all these rewatches. I would say it's still my favorite. It's still my favorite.
It's still my favorite. I love it. I watch it every year, around Christmas time. I could list it off to you verbatim pretty much. I love that movie. I think 1951 was a real surprise, but I think Muppet still has a stranglehold on me.
It does. That's childhood. It's like what I said in the beginning. It's like would you, if you take away my love for the Muppets, I still think this film is good. But I see no issue with this film being better because of Muppets.
I mean, I think I've seen people that have watched it as like that don't have that nostalgia for it. It's still a good movie. It's still a good movie.
It's because it's the greatest story ever told.
God bless us.
God bless us, everyone.
Spirit, you've taught me so much about A Christmas Carol by showing me one with funny Muppets like Rizzo and Kermit. You must review the last film with me.
I'm sorry, Kyle. That is the job for the next Spirit.
Oh.
My time in this video is over. But you have exhausted all of my dialogue options and unlocked a rare encounter.
Who are they, Spirit? Are they yours?
They are man's. This one is Ryan. The other is William. Beware them both and all of their degree. But most of all, beware Ryan. For on his brow I see that written, which is doom. Unless the writing be erased.
Jesus Christ! I take it you're the final Spirit that I'll watch the final film with? And I take it from context clues that film will be the Apple TV original film Spirited, starring Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell.
So what'd you think of the movie?
You know?
I remember when this movie was announced, I was like, what? Like, this is strange. Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell in a musical.
On Apple TV.
Exclusively.
Exclusively.
On Apple TV.
Where the hell is that?
I'm a fan of Ryan Reynolds.
Sure.
I like Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. Love Will Ferrell. That's a treasure of a performer, you know?
Yeah.
I know Will Ferrell's a great singer. Ryan Reynolds probably could sing. You write a song around his vocal range, you'll be fine. It's this is gonna be cool. This is gonna be fun. And
sometimes it was.
Sometimes.
God, what a bloated movie. The story's real unique on this one. This one is more of a sequel to A Christmas Carol than a Christmas Carol adaptation.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to go a little more in detail on what happened, or else if we're too vague, you're not going to know what the hell we're talking about.
Because this shit's confusing.
Yeah, it's convoluted.
The ghosts and the whole process of the haunt
is like a company.
Yeah. And I think that's inspired. That's a pretty cool decision.
That's cool, yeah. They've got these spirits. The narrator is Will Ferrell, who is playing the Ghost of Christmas Present.
The film opens with the ending of somebody's Christmas Carol.
Rightfully, it's a neighborhood woman who is being rude, and her name is Karen. Yeah.
This is what we're dealing with, folks.
Yeah. So then they go and they're like, "Oh, we got to find next Christmases."
Yeah, this is a whole
year-long process of them rebuilding someone's past and their present and their future.
And they go and they pick out this one dude who's like
a hotel manager.
Yeah,
who is played by that one guy. That's in Things.
That's in Things.
There he is. Man, he looks real familiar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, what did I see him in? Something.
But a Ryan Reynolds guy.
A Ryan Reynolds type.
A Ryan Reynolds type appears in this.
Surprisingly played by Ryan Reynolds.
The snarky douchebag who is correct, you know.
Yeah.
And We have a fun little musical sequence.
This
is a musical, by the way, folks.
Musical. Yeah, I think we said that.
We did, but this film forgets that sometimes.
It feels like it's the first one. No. Well,
it's the second one.
Besides the original, Christmas Morning feeling.
Yeah. Corny.
Yeah.
Corny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty corny.
Yeah, that's the best way to say.
Yeah, it's pretty corny, and it's also they reprise it a lot. A lot. They reprise it a lot. I mean, they ended on a reprise of it.
Yeah, they ended on a reprise of another reprise because they already did it before.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a reprise?
Reprise.
Is it reprise?
It's reprise.
He's this smarmy businessman that's all about creating outrage and clicks and all this online because we're modern day. We got to go online. They're modern daying us.
Pronouns. What was it? You think he's gonna get haunted by the Christmas?
I don't think he's on anyone's radar.
They're he's perfect. He's the perfect guy to get.
And then Marley goes, no, he's unredeemable on the file, which honestly, weird. I think it's weird this company built on redeeming assholes is this guy can't do it.
Not those assholes.
Especially considering that, they established then, because I was about to say it's not like he's Hitler, but, they establish it isn't because he, drowns puppies or anything. It's it says here that the only reason he's labeled as irredeemable is because he has a complete and utter dogmatic belief that people can't change.
He's only stamped because he's dogmatically committed to the belief that people never change.
It's another thing that's so weird to me about the film because they start talking about this irredeemable messaging in the movie.
Yeah.
You know? And right away, I'm like, oh, Will Ferrell's Scrooge.
Well, and they really telegraph it, because, it's almost kind of shown, a reveal, later on. So they show, the Hall of Redeemed or whatever.
Dolly Parton is there.
I noticed that.
What did she do?
What does that mean?
What did she do?
What did she do? Why did she need to be redeemed?
What'd you do, Dolly?
What'd you do, Dolly? So they show the back of the head of a statue that looks like Scrooge, and he's looking at it, and he looks like
logging.
Yeah, and he's talking about how he wants to give life another shot because he doesn't know if he wants to do better than he did last time. Is what he says.
And this is the central point of the film.
That's Will Ferrell's
sometimes.
Okay, yes, you were a huge dick.
There are two different stories going on. One of them is A Christmas Carol. You know? Very by the book.
Barely.
But, by the books, basic stuff.
Yeah, except it's basically by the books regular Christmas Carol. If Scrooge was Ryan Reynolds doing Deadpool bits, but also, not showing any remorse.
Well, Ferrell, who is Scrooge,
just kind of is I don't know if I'm truly redeemed. It's nah, man, I think you're good.
I think you're good. You seem like a pleasant person. You seem very caring, like a good person.
Yeah.
I think
it's not really that interesting to see Will Ferrell just constantly be am I a good person? Do I deserve to be happy? It's yes, you do.
I hate playing armchair director / writer. But I think if the central conflict was more so him I missed my chance at being a human, an actual person.
Yeah.
Because I died so old, because I changed so old.
I don't know, because I get the comedic part of it, but they established that Scrooge died a week after he was redeemed.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, I guess, kind of says it where he goes, well, how do you know you were actually redeemed? Because, anyone can be good for a week.
How did you even know that you changed? I mean, anybody can be good for 3 weeks, right? I mean...
Ryan Reynolds is a piece of shit in this film. He's talking to his niece, who is
running for school president.
So much bullshit.
Yeah, that
doesn't.
That doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of a thing they bring back later.
It's so fucking weird. But it's like, it's the specific nature of it, right? Where it's like, oh, he's a marketing executive whose niece is running for student office.
And he's like, let's dig up dirt on your opponent. Like, it meant
who works at a soup kitchen. It's like, why are we going through so many?
Yeah, like there's a lot going on, a lot of motion.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And then Octavia Spencer, who plays Scrooge's love interest.
Awesome performance.
Yeah, she does.
Kills it. She has one of my favorite songs in the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was almost sitting there like, okay, wait, this is this might be something.
It is really weird because her character is specifically there to be something for Scrooge to want.
Yeah. I guess when you point it out like that, that's a bit strange.
Her and Will Ferrell have pretty good chemistry.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, her entire purpose is for Will Ferrell to be like, that chick makes me horny.
I'm gonna have sex with this woman.
I wish I was alive and I could have sex
with this woman.
How red is my face? When I used to date, holding hands was third pace.
Well, that's another thing. Okay, so like they've got so much going on because it's like Will Ferrell has to like make bits about being old, like from Victorian times and being like an old guy, and then he also has to make jokes about being a spirit and not knowing how humanity works.
But he also has to make jokes about the pandemic.
Spreading goodwill like a pandemic. No, scratch that. Sorry.
What is happening? Like it's so like not just like the movie itself, like just the way everything is bloated. Like, every character is, like, 3 fucking things.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is Scrooge. Like, the Scrooge of this story.
Yeah.
And he's also Ryan Reynolds. And he's also shitty ad exec. But he's also a good guy that wants to be friends with Scrooge, with the Ghost of Christmas Present, Scrooge. And he also cares about his family, but he doesn't, and it's like there's so many.
Yeah, there's so many moving parts.
Like there's so many moving parts on everything, and I think that they have this mistake of thinking that makes a developed character. Well, a lot of them are in like direct conflict, or like at the very least aren't important. Anyway,
the haunt happens.
The haunt happens, and then this is where we're kind of getting back into the format.
You said past, present, future. Like A Christmas Carol? The Dickens story?
For it's all too late.
What is it? So, out of all the people on the planet, murderers, racists, people who do gender reveal parties, I'm the guy you're gonna haunt.
Another weird side plot. The Ghost of Christmas Past comes.
And then ends up fucking Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
And then she like doesn't.
She doesn't want to make things.
She doesn't want to make things awkward.
So she
like
forces.
So Will Ferrell has to be the Ghost of Christmas Past and present for this.
Well, your haunt got off to a bit of a humpy start.
Yes, it did.
It's very obvious they were like, we don't know what to do with the Ghost of Christmas Past.
Yeah.
I don't know. Make her a hot chick and make her bang Ryan Reynolds.
Because everybody wants to have sex.
Yeah, everyone wants to have sex with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, it's true.
So they're like, yeah, so we'll do that. And she's like, I don't want to do that. So then we get to have the same ghost for 2 parts of the movie.
And
which is Will Ferrell, our main character.
In a weird way, I think it works. Because I think
I think the bit of him being out of his nature is kind of like out of his element in the past is kind of funny.
Of course. This isn't my usual gig, so I just need to get a lay of the land, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I like with the knowledge that he is Scrooge, how he's like trying to make him see everything.
In his mind, he thinks he knows exactly what he needs to see because he's like, I've been through this.
Yeah.
Which they don't really touch too much on that.
When Ryan Reynolds is showed like the big moneymaker moment of like his dying sister, you know, and that's like his crutch, you know.
Very similar to the scene from the 1951 Scrooge with Scrooge and his dying sister.
Very similar.
I was kind of shocked to watch them back to back because I was like, what the fuck? These scenes are like really similar.
And I really like Ryan the reaction, the character where he's just like he books it. You know, he refuses to take it.
We got a runner, and then he runs into the he gets into the ghost HQ, and God damn it.
Which I'm just gonna say it. They should have had better security. There's no way that this would happen.
It sounds like their entire process of redeeming was just doing fucking freebies. People that are like being rude to their neighbor. It's like, it sounds like they've never.
Well, it's about the ripple. That's a big thing.
Yeah. Which is the song they cut and then played at the credits.
Yes.
Which I did think it was funny that they cut the song in the movie.
But if you'll promise to stop singing.
Oh, really? Great. Thank you. That's quite reasonable.
Yeah, it's good. It's funny. Whenever they do like that type of self-aware humor, like it's like a workplace type thing, I really dig that. You know?
Yeah.
Like everything.
I dig a lot of the jokes. I guess I wouldn't say most, but like a lot. A lot. There's a lot of jokes that I'm like, that was pretty good.
That was funny.
Look, man, I'm tired of being just a guy who points at stuff.
I wouldn't underestimate the pointing.
Yeah.
I mean, the way you do it, it's chilling. Hit me with it again.
Boom.
He finds out that he's irredeemable, which then pushes him to start like asking about Scrooge's personal life and all this. And then he doesn't want to do it anymore, so Scrooge takes him back to Victorian London. So it isn't a pure Christmas Carol from here on out. As I said, like, we're mostly on book now. It's like, no, we go back to Victorian London.
Let's go! Right now! Damn it!
Do not like Will Ferrell's Scrooge. Like the voice he's doing.
Yeah.
As like Scrooge.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Yeah.
I was flat out like, this is bad.
Yes.
I like the musical number. I like
Good Afternoon. Yeah. I don't know what it means.
They were just saying like, be an asshole.
Yeah. I didn't know that was what we were going for.
That's the thing. The goddamn film keeps fucking changing. I guess you could say it's because Ryan Reynolds' character wants to distract from like changing, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but it doesn't make sense, right? Like,
yeah.
Because it's not like
it is one of the best songs, I think. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe these songs were written by the Dear Evan Hansen guy.
Yo, there's no fucking way.
Do you want to fact check me live? Like, do you want to pull that up on your Mac just to check? Yeah.
Oh god. This is the composer.
I don't think that's what I was thinking.
Is it produced?
Benji Pasek.
Benji Pasek.
Yeah, Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh my god. Was he just a producer?
I don't know.
Music department.
Worked in music?
Worked in music.
Yeah, there you go. I knew it. I knew I was right on that.
Words fail. Words fail.
Yeah,
God damn it.
Yeah, it was done by the Dear Evan Hansen guy. He worked on the music.
That's insane.
And where were we?
Oh god, because that's the fucking thing about this goddamn movie. Everything happens in it. We're sitting here trying to remember what the fuck happens next. They go.
They. Okay. So Marley comes in.
Yes.
And he goes, "What the hell are you doing?" Yeah, he goes, "Back to bed with you." He sends him back to bed.
Yeah. And then we get the sequences where it's like, you want a family. Ryan Reynolds is calling Will Ferrell.
Yeah, he's saying all this stuff. All this stuff that you're saying. That
it's like, this isn't about me. This is about you.
and then it kind of just like completely ignores Ryan Reynolds completely. The entire present bit has nothing to do with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, we kind of drop it.
You just kind of drop it. It's all about Will Ferrell, and then at the end of that, he takes his. He's like, I think I want to be alive again. I think I want to like, and then he takes his retirement package to be alive again.
Which, great song.
That song's good. I like
song
that one.
Rips.
I think that one also is very Evan Hansen. I think I wrote
it's
that.
So
in my notes.
Evan Hansen.
I wrote that one as very Evan Hansen in my notes. Then he's just human, and he's just like living with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. We get jokes about him being human.
A ghost, like he gets up in a guy's face because he doesn't think he can see him, and then he like walks into a wall and all that. Which it's like, yeah, I mean, I know it's been a while, but you were human for like 80 years.
We get the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come,
which we have not spoken about at all. It's Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan plays him.
Yeah, he's like,
he's funny.
It's a funny bit.
Yeah.
And then, like, Ryan Reynolds is, like, being an asshole during the future segment. He just goes, like, I hate you! He's like, you got rid of my best friend!
You made Christmas Carol, bitch!
We forgot about something about the future segment. What happens with the plot line of his niece?
Yeah, he sees in...
Speaking of Dear Evan Hansen.
He gives his niece dirt on the kid. This kid works at a homeless shelter. The dirt is that 2 years ago, he made it like a TikTok that he deleted that was just like, my parents are making me spend Christmas at a homeless shelter. Gross. He's canceled, and I'm like, first off, it's a fucking...
Canceled.
It's fucking middle schoolers.
Like a child.
It's fucking middle schoolers. No one's canceling. Like
and then he unalives himself.
Yeah, then he kills himself. And Ryan Reynolds is like, well, how was I supposed to know?
Which is hysterical. Which is a crazy response for him to have.
And then he said, yeah, no, my future's fine. I'm fine with everything. I just need to
make sure
this kid doesn't commit suicide.
I literally said out loud, I was on the floor watching the film, and I stood up. I was like, what the fuck?
I don't know who this movie's for.
Yeah, truly.
Like really, I don't know who it's for. And I know we say that a lot, but like, I genuinely, it's like, I don't know, because a lot of it's so juvenile. Like, obviously, like, it's kind of like, it feels like they want kids to watch it. But then, like, they've got, like, curse words and, like, dirty jokes and a kid committing... And I'm just like, who is this for?
Yeah.
I don't do hugging very well. I'm just screw it. Come here, Kimberly. Oh, thank you.
I can't imagine showing my kids, like, hey, guys, let's watch Spirited. It's funny.
We're
in for a whimsical Christmas jaunt.
Mama considered the stakes. He's an unredeemable.
He redeemed himself a little bit.
Good for you.
Just saying.
So he wakes up, and he's just like, I guess I'm just kid for himself. So then he just like, and Will Ferrell's just there with him because he's alive now, and I guess he just lives at his house.
Yeah.
Also, we have completely ignored the fact that Will Ferrell came to life and then he started dating Octavia Spencer.
Yeah,
because they're like Dustin said earlier, their chemistry's good. It's cute chemistry, whatever. It doesn't.
But we're jumping around from goddamn thing.
It doesn't fucking matter.
This has got the pacing of a TV show.
Yeah.
You know? Where, like, a TV show can have several things happening at once.
Yeah. He gets in a cab with Will Ferrell, and Will Ferrell's like, well, what happened? Did you change? He's like, no, I'm never going to change. And they go to the place where where his niece is going to post the video that makes the kid kill himself, and he's trying to stop him.
Well, Octavia Spencer
is there, and she stops.
Already stopped it.
Yeah, like off screen.
Right back.
You do know I quit, right?
Like, what changed in...
Well, now she's fucking Scrooge.
Is that the thing that changed?
I guess she's willing to stand up for herself, but, like, she's willing to stand up for herself to such a degree where she's like, I'm going to go talk to your niece for you?
Will Ferrell's like, there should be music.
Yeah,
you should be redeemed.
You changed. You did all this, and then he's like, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to. And then Will Ferrell's like standing in front of a bus, and he opens.
Well, okay, wait. Wind back just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's a weird thing with the messaging of this film where it's like, he's like, I'm not like people just don't change.
Yeah, no, it's weird because it's almost like the movie kind of agrees with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
which is really weird. But then like it doesn't. In the end, but it's like...
it makes no sense.
Yeah, well, I mean... Ryan Reynolds says people don't just change on one day, like, you gotta put in the work. And I'm like, okay, but you're not. You're not.
Yeah, you're not.
You're not. Like it's like
You know that, and he has
like it
this
just
line,
sounds like it's just an excuse from him.
Why isn't this happening?
Come on. Well, probably because I'm going to go back to work next week, and I'm going to keep doing what I do.
the film is consistently on the side of Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Because we're following Scrooge's want to be human again.
Yeah. We're so focused on Scrooge that we're not really rebutting Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
We're kind of just letting him say all this and not really giving a rebuttal. He's kind of just allowed to be wrong. So it's like, I mean, he's never really proven wrong. And then then the movies, you know, we're almost at the 2-hour mark. It gets dragging, so they just kill him.
Thank you.
The death is the redemption?
So Will Ferrell is standing in front of a bus. He pushes, for some fucking reason, Will Ferrell's standing in front of a bus.
Will Ferrell stands in front of the bus to kill himself.
Yes.
To become a ghost again.
Because he's like, if you can't change, I can't, which is very fucking dramatic. It is. He's just like, you can't change, so I can't, so I'm going to go back to being a ghost.
I'm going to die.
So Ryan Reynolds jumps in front of the bus.
To save his life.
Yeah.
And that redeems him.
And because they say that his problem was that he always put himself before others, but it's like, no, I thought his problem was that he didn't care about the harm he caused.
Yes. That was what was stated, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a fundamental thing of people don't change. That's why he's irredeemable.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with his sister, where, like, the big conflict with his sister was he didn't take custody of his niece.
When she wanted him to.
When she wanted him to. It was her dying wish.
And he just walked out of the room and was like, later.
Does that
redeem him? Jumping in front of a bus?
Does him sacrificing his life to save someone who he considers
it almost
his
feels
best
like
friend,
it almost feels like they got out of actually. It feels like they just get out of like having to make him make a change as a character. I mean, that's really what it is by killing him. Because then they just put him as kind of shitty businessman, but he's doing it for a good cause. He takes Will Ferrell's job as Ghost of Christmas Present. But he's still like kind of like a schmoozy businessman, and it's like, but it's portrayed as like, oh, but like it's because it's a good, it's a very weird pro-capitalist mindset. It really is.
We're talking about capitalism now. Let's go.
No, because
you're not wrong. You're right.
Because it's like, yeah, he's still a shitty businessman that puts work first, but the company's good.
But the company's good now, and they're better than ever.
He's working for good company and making it efficient. And then the movie ends.
Thank you.
The more we talk about it, the more I'm like, yeah, it sucked.
Speak comfort to me, Spirit.
Give me a second.
Why are we here, Spirit? Oh, we're doing the gravestone bit, where it's like my name on the gravestone, like in all the movies we watched today. I guess I'll look. Perfectly Okay Productions. What is a company doing on a gravestone? Is it supposed to be a metaphor for like Dustin's going to quit and the channel will fail? I shouldn't have made him work on Christmas. Oh, Spirit. Oh, Spirit. I see now, Spirit. I see. I will honor A Christmas Carol in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. And the spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. All right, big man, come on. No, 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 no. I'm alive. I'm alive. And spirited doesn't exist. They did it, of course they can, the spirits. They got me out. They got me home in one night. Oh, I'm so happy to see you, Kitty. Oh, he's a good boy. Go to the store and get me the biggest turkey they have. Go! I don't know what to do with myself. I'm as giddy as a schoolboy. As happy as a drunk. I'm, the third thing. I forget what Scrooge normally says, but I'm that thing. What am I doing, though? I'm wasting time. I need to go tell Dustin he can just to spend Christmas with his family and not waste it making some lazy film review. It's lazy content. Who needs it? Oh, I have to see Dustin. Dustin, I've learned the Christmas spirit and I'm here to...
Video's done.
Good. Yeah.
It's good. I like it.
Quick Christmas Carol review, I assume.
Yeah. Christmas Carol.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, good.
Okay.
Good job.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yeah.